Oh, drama.
What's up?
Yo, okay, we can hear you. Good.
Yeah.
We're trying a new conference setup today, so there may be a bit of echo for this session. If it's unpleasant, we'll go back to the standard streams next time. But we'll see how this goes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay.
Hi, drama.
You wait another minute or?
I think we can make a start, right? Yeah, oh, actually, yeah, one more minute. Yeah. We started this staging a bit earlier just to test the technical sound checks. Cool. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So I've already started stream, so I think we can make a start.
Yeah, let's kick it off if you're okay with that, drama.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome.
All right, everybody, welcome to our, I guess you call it March AMA.
Yeah.
With Finn and the rest of the Savvy team. Really happy to be here. And so, like last time, we'll keep it to 30 minutes. We'll spend the majority of that time, about 20 to 25 minutes or so, going through the burning questions you all have asked. And we'll leave time at the end for any questions you have in the audience. So we'll just start from there and kick it off with question number one. And anytime, again, like we're monitoring the chat, so please feel free to ask questions, have a conversation. The more engagement, the better. So let's get started. All right, Zen, I have some really difficult questions for you.
No, pass those over to Tom.
You're good. The first one is from Camper87, and the question is, or the suggestion is Savvy going to implement the option to use XP books on borrowed crew or donations to the fleet?
Okay, so we're doing the questions out of order. Is that in our?
Yeah,
this?
that's further down though.
Okay. Let me just get to the right page. So made a couple of notes on this XP books. Where is the XP books?
Are you starting at the top there, drama?
Yeah, at the top.
Huh? Is this the right document we're looking?
We might be looking at two different sets of questions, my friend, but that's okay.
Oh, so we're going from the suggestions, right? Okay.
No, we should be going from the March AMA at the very bottom of the document. So that's the questions that players have submitted in the channel, the ones that you were highlighting.
I'm down to do that. All right, well, let's start with that one then, just to go in order. Let's start with the first one. This one is actually from Lamacow, and the question is, when is a desync going to be fixed? And they want to know at least a rough estimate on the time frame.
Yeah, this has been our top priority for the last 2 months, I would say.
If not more so.
Yeah, I think we're getting pretty close. Hai and Vincent's been working tirelessly on getting the last few quirks sorted out. I guess maybe we'll pass it to the man Hai to give the most definitive answer.
So this is Hai, he's our main server admin. He's been handling all of the desync issues. It's been a rather large task. We're going to be focusing on an entirely new system of handling it. So yeah, what's your estimates like at the moment? I know you've been really hard at work.
So this one, yeah, I will need to get an idea from Vincent. But I would say
handball.
but I would say in probably 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, we're looking at finalising testing for it. It's already built, everything's working correctly. We just need to improve it so it kind of works a little quicker. The worst result we can consider is a state where players still have to wait a long time to see the correct result. We also want to make sure that it's not abused. We don't want players to be forced quitting or anything like that. This system should kind of tackle all of those issues at once. We also want to make sure that not only are we isolating players who are using any kind of hack or horrible thing like that third-party tool to take away the actual validity of the competition, that we can focus on those players immediately, flag them, remove them from competition just to keep things fair for all other players. If we are looking at a rough ETA, yeah, I would agree with 2 weeks. I think it's probably, without making too many promises, we just want to make sure that it's working correctly.
Yeah, there's just a couple of issues
like the bugs also that we've discovered throughout the trial phase that we've done over the tournament week. So we just need to make sure those are dealt with as well before we start it up again. So yeah.
Gotcha. So making sure it's right before rolling it out. That's nice. So 2 weeks time, maybe 2 to 3. That's great. It's going to be a great. It's really cool because players have been asking for this for quite a long time. So really glad that we're getting closer to a rollout that's going to work for
That's
everyone.
it. And we do apologise for how long it's taken. I mean, realistically, this has been an issue for none of us would wanted to accept it for this long, but we need to make sure that it's actually secure and precise. There's no point in continuing on into some kind of scenario where it's not accurate. And once this is done, because it's taking so much time at the moment, we'll be able to focus on a lot more exciting stuff.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Tom. Next one is from Kevin Plays PSS. Is Savvy going to finally severely punish repeated cheaters?
Oh, definitely. So we've really been focused on anyone who's cheating or taking the spirit of the game and kind of abusing it to some kind of end. We actually have a dedicated team member focused on investigations at the moment in the server team. You may have seen him around. That's NWG Charles. He's really dedicated to this kind of stuff. It's something that he's quite passionate about. So what we need to do realistically is take each and every report one by one. But I would definitely invite players to submit any reports. We look into each one of those. We do go over them, and we have a very strict system and policy in place. We actually have been continually banning players over the last 6 to 12 months that have been performing any illegal activity or breaching the terms of use, which I'm sure Drama can attest to, and that's incorporated, that's encompassed rather hundreds of accounts, closer towards the thousands. So yes, definitely.
Awesome. And yeah, just to echo what Tom just said, we do look at every report that's submitted to us, and I make sure that devs look into it in each detail. So please keep sending them our way if you continue to find anyone who's possibly exploiting the game in any fashion. So the next question, moving on, from Pollux to Sinister. Any thoughts on making available room skins from previous seasons for purchase?
If I could answer this one, so room skins, no. Battle Pass is kind of one of those things that not only helps fund development, which is really important for us to keep lights on and continue to add to the game, but it's something that has that limited window of exclusivity. Players that jump in at the time and are able to help supporters and purchase the premium pass will likely always have access to that limited window. It does kind of make the skins more valuable in that regard, and it's something that you can always think back to as a certain time or a certain part of the year that you recall. And it's a badge of honor, you were there when it happened, you managed to climb to the top and complete all of your Battle Pass tasks. However, I will say we are considering the crew, everything else, and that would be more of a Dove Store thing, so it would still be kind of difficult to get there. There would be barriers, but when it comes to the skins themselves, no, they're pretty confident they will remain exclusive.
Gotcha. Cool, thanks for that
I
clarification.
thought we said we
The
were
other
going to
one
resell them
is
last time.
from The Worst. Next question is, on any API changes, will third-party devs get involved in the process to add their experience, share ideas, and generally get prepared for the changes?
Yes, so I've actually had a bit of a chat recently with some of our third-party tool creators. The work that they put in for the game and for the players is extremely valuable. So we're going to have a bit of a conversation and open up that line so we can contact each other about any future changes, discuss any problems that they're having, and let them work directly with us as a team. Then we should be able to make sure none of those issues happen, and kind of make sure that we're also looking after them so far as different things we can add, different options and data that we can provide to them, just to help create community tools and continue with those awesome third-party inclusions.
Sweet, that's great. This next question actually is one that I think a lot of people are curious about. It's from Lord Trist, and he's referring to, now that decent fixes are almost done, will there be any changes to the tournament or tournament rewards to make it better for the whole community?
Yeah, we discussed this last time. We actually did a few design sessions. There's a couple of ideas on what we want to do, but I think like in the last week, we put a blog post out on the upcoming game features. The next set of upcoming game features are not specifically looking at the tournament, but new play strategies and content for the game. Yeah, so I think once we get this content pack out, we'll revisit the tournament system again. Yeah.
It's definitely something we're
Okay.
aware of. We're not just leaving things as they are, but we just want to make sure that we're tackling each thing individually and giving it the correct focus.
Yeah.
Rewards in particular, yes, definitely going to be looked at. We want people to feel not just rewarded for their efforts, but really keen to get in there and do their absolute best.
Yeah, I think since we launched tournament, we actually did about 3 pretty big, not only balance changes, but like feature set changes. But we haven't quite hit the nail on the head like with the best solution. We don't want to put out another tournament that has issues. So we want to be very confident when we make another tournament setup change, it's going to address all of the issues. We haven't got a perfect solution yet, so we're still gonna tweak around with some ideas.
Some ideas, so
Some
many ideas.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. This next question is also from Lord Trust. Will we be getting any new events to change the current gameplay loop? The only event we have now is the AI event.
Would you like to answer?
Yeah, so we posted a blog update on, so Thomas put this together, of some upcoming changes. It includes a couple of the new gameplay options. I can go over a few of them. So there's 3 new type of gameplay content we're going to experiment with. There's a test ground where you can compete with a standard ship and go to a leaderboard and see whose ship setup is best equipped to defeat a particular style of enemy. We've also got a wormhole update that I think Thomas can go into a little bit more detail. One other thing option we might try is having set ship designs that any player can jump in and customize a version of a fixed design. So you get a specific ship design with a specific set of items and crew, and you're able to manipulate the AI and the equipment of your crew to battle with other players. So those 3 new game options are currently work in progress, and I think we'll get some alpha releases out in the next 3 months or so.
Definitely.
So I think there's quite a few new game events coming up in the horizon.
Yeah, you kind of answered the next questions then, but I'll just ask anyways. It's a 4-part question, so it's kind of long, so I'll try to read them one by one. It's by Fester Mardigan. The questions are, when will Hull 13 be open for testing? The second question is it possible for the current crafting system to be overhauled? The third question is, when will we be getting more roaming trader ships in the future? And the last one you kind of answered where it's, could we get some co-op PvP or some sort of help with community building?
Cool. I think first question, Vincent's going to be the best person to give an estimate on that. But yeah, over to Vincent.
So for the level 13 ship house currently we're still waiting on some assets to be completed. So that really depends on how quickly we can get that done. But I think we are, if I'm not mistaken, we're estimating probably maybe second quarter, third quarter of the year. Is that probably right?
That's what I got here as well. Q2 to Q3 is where we aiming. Yeah. And I see there's a few reasons for that. It's not only asset, but in terms of gameplay features, we've got some big gameplay feature changes which we need to set up and test.
Yeah, because we normally tie in some either new mechanic or like a new unique room with each ship level. So yeah, we basically yeah. So the one that we are planning, I think there's a question coming up that ties to this, but we are considering adding a room that gives adjacent bonuses to another room. So for example, if you put this room next to a hangar, it will give that hangar some kind of boost, that kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I think to really open up more high level strategy there. Cool. And I think the crafting, we'll pass it over to Thomas.
The crafting system is going to get looked at in the future, yes, especially as we near 1.0. It is something that we definitely need to improve. For the moment, it isn't in the future plans in the direct future, but yes, we'll definitely be looking into it, and I think it'll be incorporated alongside a dub store change, where that's made a bit more usable, scaled out a little better, and probably we'll look at some kind of way of changing the way it's presented. But yeah, it is something that we all share. It's frustrating in some sections make sense, so we just need to go over it all, review everything, and make sure that it's working correctly.
Excellent. Probably the next one as well is one for Thomas with the trader ships.
So Zin's already done so well without spoiling too many other things, because he knows I'm like, no, you can't say that, because we do have more teaser posts coming up. But yes, there is more trader ships, so purely based on trading for void particles, potentially other things. There's going to be some time limited ships as well. And while we have 3 factions of ships at the moment, from the Pirates, the Grey, and the Viziri, you might want to keep an eye out for another faction of ships as well. So that's something that's also on the horizon. One thing that's been really popular is things that the Void Asteroid. So we've seen people really, really like those kind of events, and we'll definitely be looking at adding some more of those without giving too much away as well. And for the fourth part, co-op PvP. So I'll let Zin answer that.
I put here probably Vincent would have the best idea of the co-op. I mean, the co-op is something we always wanted to add. We haven't just to be transparent. We haven't come up with what we think is the perfect solution. But I think Vincent's got several ideas.
Yeah, we kind of like played around with like a lot of there's a lot of potential ways you could do this. So like one of our ways advocated for was like a squad or a squad and or fleet grouping system, so that you can go head to head with another group essentially. So if like you can form a squad of like maybe a couple of ships, or you can have a fleet based a squadron. I like to call it a squadron, so that you can basically encounter another squadron and fight like it will still be one-on-one battles, but like basically it'll be like an elimination style system. Like I'll call it like an engagement. Like a squadron can engage another squadron, and basically you guys would just like eliminate each other one by one, kind of until one squadron gets destroyed. That would be like the core concept essentially.
There's also co-op non-PvP that we're looking at as well, that Vincent's really got some great ideas for. So
it just reuses the same system, but yeah, they will like basically around this concept of like squadron versus squadron battles.
Awesome.
Hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks guys. This question isn't really related to the game itself, but it's a simple, I think simple solution to this. But Fetchback wants to know if a transcript of the EMA can be written down and shared, so players who don't have a chance to actually listen or watch our AMA can read what was discussed. I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah, we currently restream it to a YouTube channel and also on the Steam replay channel, but we can probably run it through like a CC closed caption tool.
We actually have. I apologise if I'm butchering your name here. Pythrathia is currently doing a community transcript as well. So there's a link in the chat that you can have a look to. That's being worked on immediately, and I really, really appreciate that. I think it's a great idea, and thank you for showing the initiative and jumping on and getting it done. Happy to help as well, so please let me know if there's anything I can provide or clear up. But yeah, that's just another example of how great the community is that we have with Pixel Starships already being done.
Amazing.
Awesome. Yes, quite briefly, thank you so much. And in fact, the next question actually goes to you. And the question is, could updates to Starbases be planned to make them more relevant and functional?
That's a Vincent one.
So I've always been an advocate for making Starbases more relevant. We do have a lot of planned changes. The thing is, I do not know when, because we have so many things we have planned like all over the place. It's really hard to give an estimate. Like, I mean, we definitely do want to make them more relevant and functional. It's just, it all boils down to priorities.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the responsibilities on us on that one, we did we definitely try to address the Starbase lack of feature updates about 2 months ago with a pretty major Starbase update. But I think the engagement still wasn't as high as we wanted, so we're gonna test a couple of different game features as announced in the blog, like coming up and coming different things we want to try, and we are pretty kind of data driven in analyzing how effective each content update is. So yeah, rather than just like talk about ideas, once we get the ideas out, we want to have a look at the stats to see what people are engaging the most with. Yeah, so we definitely get back onto the Starbase at some stage and come up with some ideas on how to make it more high engagement. And if you got ideas, send it through.
Yeah, definitely. Always up for suggestions. Good answer.
Deep Space Nine. I'm just kidding. Alright, this question is from Solomon. This is actually a really good question to ask. I'm actually very intrigued by this. Is it possible to add at least some star filter in tournament battles?
We have considered this. This is something that Vincent's been working with the community really closely about as well. It does have other effects though, which would negatively affect the pool, especially up and coming players. It has come up a fair bit. We do continually look at tournament filtering and options for kind of perfecting the list of targets you get each day. At this stage, I don't think we can consider that until we've looked at reviewing tournament as a whole, and then we'll take it into consideration.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's our stance on it at this stage. It sounds like a simple change, but with probably more wide-ranging effects than we would like.
Yeah, part of the reason is because like tournament is the pool is actually smaller than normal. So like if you add a filter, I mean that's a lot of the problems like comes down like to people trying to find a target and then they get into immunity and that kind of thing. So it really complicates it. It's not that as Zineth pointed out, it's not that simple. So yeah, we will have issues trying to get correct targets essentially. Yeah, but
it's a fair answer. It's a fair answer. We've got a few more questions. I know we're running short on time, but the next one actually deals around creating an account, which is a new question for us, and it's by Tianlong70.
Yeah.
The question is, I understand that identities for factions need to be preserved, but why can it not simply be the case where Savvy just makes 3 different skins for 3 different super weapons, then just give the players a super weapon platform plus 3 different supers?
Yeah.
We even considered that.
This is I think this question gets raised every MA, so people are very I think the fans are vocal about wanting to access all of the different strategies for every faction. I think it's just a design principle for us. We wanted to make the game have variance in faction abilities. I think example we pointed out in the past was like StarCraft and Warcraft compared to Command and Conquer, for example.
Even Diablo class identity is something that's really important. Yes, it would be fantastic to have one class that can do everything, but it also has negative effects on the theme of the game, on the actual feel of performing your role. Faction identity is something that we're actually going to double down on, I believe.
Yes, yeah, that's right, and exactly. We want more faction-specific functions, but there was an issue with players not knowing about it earlier on. That I think that's more a bug or a shortcoming from our implementation. But design-wise, there's no right or wrong. You know, we can do Command and Conquer style or StarCraft style.
So,
we just decided to do the StarCraft style.
Yeah. So I believe one of the I mentioned this to the community a few times already, but basically one of the proposed I would say compromise on our end is that we may introduce like the variants of each faction, like but in a different form. So for example, let's say you are the Federation, so you have the big super laser as your main super weapon, but what I was thinking is that we could introduce like the BFR and the HDL as smaller versions of the as a faction weapon for the but in a different style. So it's like you can have a medium size access to a medium size BFR and a small.
Look, I think we've had a lot of considerations. We've looked at a lot of different options. There will be changes coming up that include more faction identity specific stuff. However, like Zin said, we need to make that clearer to new users upon account creation, and we need to make sure they're balanced. And Kilda's been doing a great job just continually making sure, based on data, that they are balanced correctly. As long as we do that, we're doing right by the players and make sure that everything's on a fair and even level. Perhaps one day we can review it, but at this stage we don't have any plans to know.
Awesome.
Perfect.
This next question has kind of like the Interstellar vibes going on, but it's by Andrea1509. And the question is, in the sneak peek, you added the wormhole or the possibility of a wormhole. How will it affect ammo reload and modules?
Well, that's a brilliant question. So we do hope to have a bit of a preview coming up. If you consider the classic Slay the Spire or endless runs, where things get continually harder as you go on, debuffs may take effect. There's also situations where you can come to like a respite room. We will have those options as well, where players can visit a repair bay, things like that. We're still kind of working through and ironing out the kinks on. In particular, there may be certain events that pop up for certain battles where you are able to repair your ship, or perhaps even spend some resources or Starbucks to be able to get an extra repair in. A lot of it will be randomized too, to keep that kind of roguelike nature involved and just make each run feel different. But yeah, there's a few things that we need to unveil there that we're not just yet comfortable to do so, but definitely something that will be considered. It's not so much a survival mode, it's partially survival. So there will be options where players can take a break, breathe, repair, and then continue on to something more difficult.
Awesome, great answer, man. Just two more questions, we're almost there. The next one is by a player whose name is I don't know. Is when we get the next update? Yeah, just when we get the next update, will we get anything new on Stardate 3000?
Again.
Yeah, definitely. That's just a solid yes. Not saying what, lips are sealed, but the art team did an absolutely amazing job on the 2K update. That was all of their concept and art that came up with those awesome stickers. So I think we'll probably be looking into something similar without giving too much away, but definitely we won't be forgetting 3K.
Awesome.
You'll probably put like a Millennium ship on sale or something.
Yeah, I think probably the 2 gets crossed out to a 3.
It's just a line across
That works. That's really exciting for the 3K update. And the last question goes to the worst. And the question is, will we eventually get upgradable training items?
I mean, coming from me, I'm not sure that's something we want to do at this time. I think it's probably has some ramifications there. Yeah, it's a bit hard to say at this point.
Yeah.
From a balance point of view, so yeah, I don't think that's something we want to do yet at this time.
I think as general thought on just training items and actually gym training in general, when we created the whole gym room and the training setup, the idea is to make it like a simulation. So you know, we want to make it have a bit of strategy, like quirky strategies in there, not just be like a stat grind.
Yeah. Make your optimum approach so you can actually dedicate your time and do it better than say someone else.
So I think ideally, if it was, if I had everything done perfectly, it should be something where you have the time when to use the training items. How do you mix that with doing the normal gym training? So I think if we did do some changes here, we'll make sure that fits into our concept more so than just grinding out some new items.
Yeah, well said.
Cool. Awesome. And we're almost at time. We have a minute left, but I do want to ask the team a question from the audience in the Q&A today, and it's related to you know, punishing players who cheat, exploit. But the question is, what's the current stance on botting? And the example that Codename Cobra gave was there's currently a very prominent and well-known fleet that has basically a fleet full of bot accounts.
We definitely
There's another
don't
one?
say that.
No!
We have located a fleet that has done this in the past, and we quickly acted to be able to ban all of those accounts. It's not something that we just work on reports for. We also have active and live monitoring going on. Obviously, automation of any kind past a one press, one result, or one action is not allowed by the terms of use. Please send in those reports to us. At the same time, I would strongly advise against jumping on any kind of bandwagon towards hating a particular fleet, especially if you know they're in the top 3. We don't approve of witch hunts. It's not the best way to do it. Just send us your reports, and we'll continue to review those. We reopen these reports constantly. We reopen these investigations constantly, and there are a number of really, really strict factors that we need to monitor. Unfortunately, I can't go into that because that would kind of give them a bit of a heads up on how we're able to find them. But again, I need to double down on the fact that while we will always strive to do better, again, we were up towards, I think it was almost 1,000 accounts banned in our recent ban wave, and live monitoring is always enabled. So if you do feel that there is some kind of prevalent fleet or anything like that, please just let us know, and it's likely that they're already under investigation. We just want to make sure we do right by every player and give that a proper investigation period.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Very well.
Yeah, good answer there.
Yeah.
Well, we're currently at time, so
Yeah.
again, hi, Tom, Zin, Kildare, thank you guys for joining the AMA. For the audience, those who stuck around, thanks for your great questions and feedback, and please keep it coming. We love to stay engaged with everybody, so if you have any questions, feedback, send it to me, send it to the group, post it on Discord. We'd love to hear from you, and let's keep going and grow our community for many years to come.
Amazing.
So everyone, thank you so much for joining. Yeah.
Thanks so
this
much,
is,
Rava.
you know,
Great job, Drama. Thank you
AMA.
so much. We really
Got it.
appreciate you hosting these, and thank you for joining us.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here. Love you guys. Talk to you everyone soon.
Bye.
Have a great day.
See ya.
Thanks, everybody.